Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So, I want to make sure we bust out some of these episodes of the Safe Citizen series that I do because some of the magazines are piling up because I'm also reading a lot off camera, and this is something I've been really thinking about because I've been watching some true crime stuff as I usually do, and I just want to keep motivating people with a security mindset, and this series aims towards that mission. Let's begin. This is for April 2024. I know, right? The last episode was June 2023. I'm just skipping all around. They send me one every month. Okay, excuse me, pardon me. Bismillah. A homeowner in Georgia, VT, used a muzzle-loading rifle to defend himself against several home intruders, just before midnight on January 30th. The three suspects reportedly were forcing entry through a locked door. The homeowner shot one of the alleged intruders, a 39-year-old man, critically wounding him, then shut the door and called the police. Aha! You see that? Blasted him, and then called the police. The other would-be home invaders fled before police arrived. Why did they flee? Because of the weapon. You don't have the weapon? Sorry, no one's leaving. But officers found the wounded man in a neighbor's yard and transported him to the hospital. The investigation was still ongoing. MyChaplinValley.com, Colchester VT. Okay, what do you see here? You're at home chilling just before midnight. You think, everything's calm in the world. Then boom, guys are coming in. You are able to fire upon them and then call the police. A lot of people who've never been around violence think you can hide in your closet. Your skimpy little door will defend you, and then the police will arrive before you're murked. Sorry, not the case. You gotta be able to hold down the fort. You have to be able to be brave and put those criminals where they belong. Return them to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not bow to evil. When you're swimming, shark bites you, you're wiggling. You try to live. You try to escape. Alright? Whatever you can do to survive, you do it. It's the same way you must be with criminals. They want to make you live in fear. Don't live in fear of them. Have a security mindset. Dispatchers in Fayetteville, North Carolina, received a call from a distraught woman the morning of December 20th, 2023, who said she had used her Smith & Wesson 9mm handgun to shoot a 30-year-old man, forcing his way into the back porch window of her house. Somebody just broke into my house, the woman told the dispatcher, and I had to shoot him. Police arrived on the scene to find the 30-year-old suspect wounded but conscious, rushed him to the local hospital where he was pronounced dead. MashaAllah. Good riddance. FayeObserver.com, Hope Mills, North Carolina. Now, a woman had a Second Amendment tool able to defend herself. Boom. India doesn't allow women to have weapons of self-defense. Doesn't India have a rape problem? Let's put two and two together here. Women always lose if they cannot have a tool of self-defense because men will violate them. Okay? Men do not care. Some men, evil men, don't care if you're a woman. They're gonna come get you. They're gonna do stuff to you. You have to defend yourself. Okay? Not every woman has a husband there, and even if you did, he's old, he can't defend you either. You both got a strap somewhere by, you'll be alright, inshallah. Point is, she had it. She was able to defend herself. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. In Chicago, Illinois, on the afternoon of December 2023, 4 armed people allegedly attempted to rob a 68-year-old man. Wow. Okay, so 4 armed people, they're coming in locked and loaded. This senior, however, was a concealed carry license holder and shot one of them. The other 3 suspects fled. The wounded suspect was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Good riddance. Robberies in the area of this incident were reportedly up 57% compared to the year prior and up 118% compared to 2019. CWBChicago.com, Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, Illinois, it's very difficult to get a permit there to carry a gun, but criminals get it really easy on the black market, super easy, and they got the cash, they get in their stuff. Now, 4 dudes who were armed came in, they saw grandpa, elderly man, was able to have his strength about him, testosterone intact, and he was coming, right? He didn't back down to these 4 criminals, and they all fled. They don't want to get shot. But if he wouldn't have had the weapon, he would have been mincemeat. They would have totally taken advantage of him, pistol whipped him, you name it. But this senior citizen was able to defend himself. This is another example of why seniors should defend themselves. Gang culture is popping. Alright? People rather rob than work. Hollywood promotes musicians who promote a violent lifestyle. Liberals want to legalize, tax, and regulate all drugs. When people don't have money for drugs, they commit crimes. In Houston, Texas, a woman was leaving an apartment complex the morning of January 6th when 2 armed people allegedly pulled her out of her pickup truck and held guns to her head. A friend of hers heard the commotion and came out of his apartment. Seeing the situation, he shot one of the assailants, killing him. The other would-be robber fled. ABC13.com, Houston, Texas. Beautiful. You see that? A heroic man was able to save the life of a woman who was minding her own business, leaving her apartment. It's in the morning. They yanked her out, threatened her. Guy comes, saves the day. A woman in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, allowed a 39-year-old man who coached youth baseball in the area for several years to stay with her and her 12-year-old daughter. What? But after falling asleep the night of January 13th, she woke up to find the man R-wording her daughter. She stopped the assault by holding the man at gunpoint until police arrived. The investigation revealed that the man was HIV positive, had assaulted the girl numerous times, including on her birthday, and had not used any protection according to reports. He was to be charged with lewd molestation, R-wording by instrumentation, first-degree R-wording, exposing others to AIDS, and pattern of criminal offenses. KansasCity.com, Kansas City, Missouri? Oh my god. What a horrible... Okay. Alhamdulillah for Islam. First off, because in Islam, a man would not be permitted to sleep in your home in that way. And I would also argue that this mother was an idiot. Complete idiot. Just because he coached youth baseball doesn't mean that he gets to stay in your house. She's 12-year-old, the mother failed, and oh my gosh, her having a firearm allowed her to stop what was happening. She has a stronger reserve than me. I would have, may Allah forbid that situation from ever happening to me, but I don't think I would have let him walk scot-nilly. What a horrible situation. Women gotta wake up, man. Moms gotta wake up. That poor girl let down by her mother. Why would you allow that? Some men are just so dangerous, man. On January 21st, a woman in Fruta, Colorado, discovered an intruder in her home. To protect the victim, reports don't provide many details on the incident, but do indicate that the woman was able to defend herself with her firearm, causing the man to flee. Furita police reminded area residents to always keep their homes and cars locked and to take all precautions necessary to protect yourself and your property, regardless of how safe you think your neighborhood is. KJCTA.com, Grand Junction, Colorado. Wow. A woman in Fruita, Colorado. Ooh, scary, man. 3 armed men in Houston, Texas reportedly exited a white SUV and rushed towards a man as he was leaving his car to go into his home the night of January 28th. A person inside the home heard the commotion, however looked outside and saw his family member being held at gunpoint. The person inside told someone to call 911 and fire his gun at the assailants to end their attack. 2 of the suspects fled in the vehicle, and the third on foot. A police dog quickly located the suspect, who had not gotten into the vehicle. He was transported to the hospital with at least 1 gunshot wounded and stabilized. Police were still searching for the other suspects at the time of reporting. HoustonChronicle.com, Houston, Texas. Wow. Going into his home. Heard a commotion, looked outside, saw his family member being held up. Ugh. February 11th in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. A man called police to report that a man wielding a knife had followed him into his garage and demanded his car. The homeowner, however, was an armed citizen, and the suspect ran off after he drew his firearm. He was later found allegedly using a rock to break into a nearby home through the sliding glass door. Police quickly arrested a 30-year-old suspect who faces multiple charges. WMUR.com, Manchester, New Hampshire. Wow. Crazy. The guy had a knife and was like, hey. So either way you look at it, it's important for you to have a security mindset. And do recall how I always talk about stay-at-home moms are an asset to their community because they're able to keep watch on situations in their community. So they're out watering their garden, taking out the recycle, taking a gander out the window as they're kneading bread, depending on the architecture. Either way, more eyes are better, and making life extremely difficult for criminals is always a bonus. So any way we can inconvenience criminals, the better. Okay? No mercy for these individuals. We have to be careful. They repent, they turn their own ways. Just don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Once you do your time and you repent, sure. But you have to be very careful with who you trust, who you let around your children. Alright, women gotta start looking at men with way more suspicion. Way more. Way more. And appreciating the good men. So here, you had a lady who remember she was being held up in her pickup truck. A man came, put a bullet in one of the guys. She was saved. Alright? This woman, who was 39, allowed the youth baseball coach to be around the 12-year-old. It's not the first time people in, like, Boy Scout leaders, priests, even some imams, religious positions, people in church camps, people who get around public school teachers, both male and female, they get in these positions where they can be around kids and then they do terrible things to children. As I've said many times, I think Earth is dangerous for children because they have to constantly be out looking about for predators. Be safe, be secure, alright? It's really sad that people won't just be good, but examine China's social credit score, examine why it's good for people to have God consciousness and know that there will be retribution for them, and understand that evil exists. There's something going on, right? You have to have self-preservation. You gotta know that people need personal protection. And don't think that your community is above crime, because criminals can travel, and you always have to make their life difficult because they're going to make your life difficult. As a parent, it's up to you to hold the fort down. Be an asset to your community. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you like to support the channels that I have and the work that I do, it is possible to do so via my blog, which is www.subscribestar.com/MilahanArchive. Still saving up for the book holder and the wooden wall panel, and if you would like to donate towards that, it would be very helpful. And I hope you all had a wonderful Ramadan and a wonderful Eid. Take care.